Okay, so Mark, I'm going to start here in the front of the machine. Excuse Cliff in this video. This is right before we're trying to crate everything up and get it in there before the truck. So here, as you see, you've got your first E-stop. Now, when you press that in, it's going to cut all the electrical to the machine. You have to twist them to come out. There's a second E-stop right there, so if anything gets stuck in the machine or anything like that, you can press down on that and it'll stop the entire machine. Now, here's your third E-stop. Press it in. Make sure you twist it when it comes out. If you don't, the machine obviously will not turn back on. And here is the last E-stop on the exit end of the machine. Press it in, twist it out. So you got 4 E-stops. Exit, middle, 2 in the front. So that's the first thing. Alright, now the next thing I should be moving towards is the in-feed table. Now, as you see, there's numbers on this in-feed table on the side. It'll focus 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, this is your length when the garment comes out of the end of the machine. So if you're folding it 9 wide by 11 long, I want you to put that guide on 11 on the in-feed table. So it pretty much means there's 22 inches on the in-feed table, and then it's going to be folded in half into 11 at the end. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to move to is your long sleeve attachment basic control box here. You got an on-off switch, you got your speed, your full width, and then the E-stop. Now this is something I just want you to turn on. I don't even want you to change any settings. We've already got it set to where it needs to be. If something comes up we need to move it, just call and we'll definitely figure it out. Alright, moving on. Now here are your adjustments, your main adjustments you're going to have to make. You've obviously got your start button, but yeah, so you got your start button right here, green button. Now when everything's plugged in, air in, you're going to press the start button, make sure all the E-stops are out, and the machine will begin, which basically that turns on the main drive motor, which is going to turn everything else. Now that right there I reset, that's a counter. You can just press that button and it'll go back to 0 every time, just depending on if you want to count how many garments you're putting through the machine. Okay, so as you look at this, you're looking at your left tucker, your right tucker, your sleeve tucker, and your fold width. Now your left tucker, you're going to turn this knob and it's going to move this actuator motor up and down, and that's a guide, as you can see, 1 to 4. So you're going to have your left tucker like that, which is inside the machine. That's just a guide showing you how high it is. You got, as you can see, you got your right tucker on the other side and your sleeve tucker. Now all 3 of these, your default is 2, 2, and 2, as you see. I've already got it set there. So before you run anything, I want you to go back and go 2, 2, 2, and then you can move things accordingly. Now what I'm pointing out now is your fold width plate. As you can see, there's an actuator motor, and it's going to move this bar in and out, which is going to move this steel plate that I'm pointing at now in and out. Now that's your fold width. So when the shirt arrives to the machine, it's going to hold that width all the way through. That's basically how you find your width when you come out. And 9 by 11, like I said, is kind of a normal fold. Those are just basic adjustments. You're not going to have to move too much around right there. Now here's your last adjustment right here. There's a timer. So this timer basically tells the machine when to fold the garment in half, which we can get more detailed into that later. So basically all these adjustments kind of work together, which are very simple. It takes about a minute to do them once you kind of get through your little learning curve. Looks like I'm focused in on, that's where you're going to plug your air in. Make sure that you plug it into the male, I'm sorry. That's your main air. And then the female, you plug in your bagger sealer. It looks like I moved on to the crate now. Alright, so as you saw when I talked to you earlier, these cross members here, the machine's going to be bolted in basically where those bolts are coming straight through with L brackets. Now you're going to take all those off, pick the machine up, put the casters on, which are going to be under the in-feed table, basically right there as I'm looking. Now as you see, I've got the casters on there now because I had to roll it over to the crate, but those will not be there. As you can see, there's already holes, and that's where you're going to install that. And make sure when you install the casters that the mount is on the inside of the machine. Don't turn it around and have it on the outside. So that's just a basic example, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.